All right, guys. So this is your kind of like teaching lesson for the week, me going over the PowerPoint. This PowerPoint has a lot of vocabulary, and I'm going to try and get this and keep this under about 5 minutes. It probably shouldn't take that long, but I just wanted to kind of give you like a heads up on how long you might be watching this for. But I wanted you guys to have this, especially for my virtual class, in case you are super confused and you would rather hear things and see me explaining things than just reading it. So, the first thing is buyers, and buyers are responsible for selecting and buying goods for their companies. So, they don't actually like this is not you going and buying something. This is someone going for, let's say, Walmart and buying up a bunch of items that a different company is making for Walmart to sell if they think that Walmart will do a good job of selling them. Buyers must know customers' tastes and preferences. They have to know what they want, when they want it, and what they're willing to pay for it. So that's their company wise. And then they have to determine qualities, or quantities and timing for styles, colors, sizes, and prices. So let's say that they own a boutique in the middle of Monroe and it's the middle of fall and someone comes up to them and they're like, "Hey, do you want this like all these summer dresses to buy?" Are they going to buy those? Probably not, because it's the middle of fall and they know how many they need. They know the styles right now, they know the colors right now, and they know for a fact that that's what they need to buy. Department buying is buying for a specific department, such as women's, men's, juniors, etc. So they're specifically buying all women's clothes, specifically buying all men's clothes, that they have specific department buyers. Classification buying is a method of buying for chain stores, usually only buy one classification. An example would be men's sweaters or women's dresses. So that would be like if you are specifically a classification buyer, then you're going out and finding women's dresses only for your company. The merchandise cycle, which I thought that I moved these arrows and I guess I didn't, is they plan, they buy, and then they sell. And I hopefully will move these. I will remember to move these arrows before you have to watch this. But the company will plan what they want, they will buy what they want, and then they will sell it to you as a consumer. A buying plan is a plan that describes the types and quantities of merchandise to buy. So, this is when they would sit down with all their members of the buying committee and they would say, "Hey, how many women's dresses do we need? How many women's dresses are going to be bought? What types are going to be bought?" And that's what they would then go out and buy with the buying plan. Okay, so your assortment width is the number of different categories or classifications to sell: men's, women's, children's, accessories, juniors, etc. And the assortment depth is the quantity of each item carried. So this is talking about assortment width is how many categories there actually are, and then the assortment depth is the quantity of each item that is carried in those different classifications. So if you walk into a Belks, they're going to have a men's section, an accessory section, a junior section, a women's section. And you can walk in there and see which one is more prominent. That's what they're selling more of, if that makes sense. So if they are in a college town, maybe juniors or like those lower classifications of men's and women's styles would be best. If they know that not a lot of children's items get sold, they're going to have a smaller children's section. And that's what assortment depth is, the quantity of each item that is carried within the store. So inventory equals stock. Stock and inventory are interchangeable. You can use both of those words to describe the same thing. And that's the amount of merchandise that is available within the store. Assortment plan are projects, the variety and quantity of stock to meet customer demands. And this is just going over like a dollar merchandise plan, so how much they want to sell, how much money they need, all of that stuff. Stock turnover is how quickly an item sells. Shock, shortage, or shrinkage is what we went over last week. So that's just a little review that you can look at. Same with this one. So complementary products are items used to complement or accessorize. So selling winter coats, so the store stocks hats and gloves as well. So if they know that winter coats are going to be popular, they're going to have hats and coats that go along with the winter coat. Comparison shoppers are people employed by stores to check out the competitors' prices, assortment, sales, advertising, promotions, displays, services, and salespeople. So this would be like JCPenney moving into the Monroe Mall, and them having specific people go over to the Belks that's already there and see their prices, assortments, all that. So they're kind of scoping out the competition. Indirect selling is non-personal promotion, promotional selling aimed at large general audiences, and direct selling is personal interaction with the customer when exchanging a merchandise for payment. So indirect selling is them having promotional selling aimed at large general. That's like you've seen belt commercials, all that. Direct selling is when you actually walk into the Belks and a person follows you around and they're like, "Hey, this sweater would look great on you," and they're trying to get you to buy the product. Internal information is information found internally. So all of those things down here. External information is just the outside. So what they're finding from these 4 people. And then resources when selecting vendors are these 5 things right here. Manufacturers, wholesales, websites, catalogs, importers. All of that goes along with your selecting resources for when you're selecting a vendor. If you have any questions on that, please let me know. I know I went a minute over than what I said I was going to, and I apologize for that. But I have very important information to tell you guys. But please, if you have any questions, let me know.